Hi everyone, this is My Blue, and today I will show you how to write the Cyrillic script and how I usually write it because I do not follow the original 100%. This video can give you an insight into how official and real life uses differ. Obviously, everyone is different, so I'm sure my handwriting differs from other people's handwriting. Also, we will cover the letters following the order of Azbuka. It is similar to abeceda or the alphabet, but usually it is learned first in primary school. So we have Azbuka, which is usually used for the Cyrillic script, and abeceda for the Latin script. I will always show you the capital and small letters, or if you want to call them upper or lower case, because sometimes there are some differences between the two. Also, in the upper left corner, you will get the equivalent of the letter in the Latin script. So you can right away compare how we write it in the Latin script and in the Cyrillic script. And I'm sorry in advance for my bad writing, handwriting. I'm not the best, so yeah, enjoy and let's start. So Azbuka as abeceda starts with an A, and this one is pretty straightforward, I think. So we have the capital A or uppercase and the small a or lowercase. And I will use one example for each letter, a word that starts with that letter. And it will all be in the Cyrillic script, so you can actually see how other letters are written in advance, but don't bother with that. Just bother with the first letter. Here we're going to use airplane, which is in Serbian, avion. Let's move on to B. So we have the uppercase and the lowercase letter, and I'm really bad at writing the lowercase letter. That's not really how I write it, but I will just give you the original version. And the example word would be baba, grandma. And by the way, when I say letter or sound as synonyms, that's because there is one-to-one correlation in Serbian between letters and sounds, where mostly, so just don't get confused, I mean the letter. So now we have the letter V, which looks like B or B in the Latin script, but it's actually the sound V. And the example word is vaza or vase in English. Then we have the letter G, which is the same as gamma in the Greek alphabet. I usually add a little line or hook, but you don't necessarily have to. It's just easier for me to distinguish it. And the example word would be gas, which is gas. Now we have letter D. And the uppercase and lowercase letters are pretty much the same. It's just the size is different. And the example word is deda, which is grandpa. The next letter is J. It's a bit difficult to pronounce. And the example word is jak, or student or pupil. Good. Now we have the letter E, which is the same as in the Latin script. And the example word is evo, which is a very important word in Serbia, and you should learn what it actually means, what the connotation is. But we use it quite a lot. Then we have j, which looks kind of like a spider. Yeah, and the example word is žena or woman. You can also use it as a spouse, like a wife. Then we have the letter z. It kind of looks like a number 3, so that makes it easy. And it's pretty much the same in uppercase and lowercase. And the example word would be zima, which is winter. Winter is coming. I hope you know the reference. Then we have E, which looks like a reverse N in the Latin script, but it's not. It's E. And the example word is a very important one for Serbia, which is inat. This is our stereotypical characteristic. Part of our personality is just who we are. If you don't know what I mean, Google it. Okay, then y, pretty much the same as in the Latin script. And I usually also add the hook over here. You don't have to, because that's not the original. But yeah, pretty much simple. And the example word is jaje, which is egg in Serbian. Then we have k, again, the same as in the Latin script. The lowercase letter is slightly different. It looks exactly the same as the uppercase one. And the example word would be keks, which is cookies or biscuits, actually. Then we have the letter L. It looks a bit like the Greek lambda. It's not exactly the same. And it is pronounced as L in English at the beginning of a word. For example, love, so right behind your teeth, not like in the word Paul, which is way behind. So we use only that variant. And the example word is lala, which is a flower tulip in English. Then we have L, pretty similar to L, how it looks like. There is a little bump and it's kind of difficult to pronounce. I usually explain it as the combination of L and Y, L, but obviously it's not just two letters or like two sounds in one. It is a sound on its own. The example word would be ljubav, and that is love. Now let's move on to m, which is pretty much the same as m in Latin, and the example word is mama. If you haven't noticed, the lowercase letter is not written the same as in the Latin script. Then we have n, which looks like a h in the Latin script, but it's actually n. Yeah, you should pay attention when you're writing things in the Cyrillic script because some things do not overlap. Some letters are the same but mean a totally different sound. And this letter we use to say ne, which means no. Very similar to n is ñ. Again, we have this sound in Spanish or Portuguese and some other languages, obviously. And the example word is ñuška, which is nuzzle, right? Nuzzle? Yeah, I think so. Then we have o, pretty much the same as in the Latin script. And the example word is. Then we have the letter p. It's pretty much the same as the Greek letter pi. And the example word is papir, which is paper. Then we have r, looks like a p or p in the Latin script, but it ain't. It's actually a r, and the example word is ruja, which means rose, the flower. Then we have s. It looks like a c, but it is pronounced as s, and the example word is sestra, sister. T is pretty much the same. The lowercase letter is slightly different, and the example word is tata. Then we have ch, which looks quite similar to j, and if you're hearing these sounds from my mouth, then I'm sorry if you're confused, but these are two totally different sounds, j and ch, and the example word is čerka, which means daughter. So whenever you see a Serbian last name ending in ich, that's the letter that you will see, ch. Then we have u, which looks like ypsilon, but it's actually pronounced as u. And the example word is which means mind. Then we have f, looks pretty much the same as the Greek letter. And the example word is fotelha, which means armchair. Then we have h, which is not an X, it is a h. And you use it for writing down hvala, which means thank you. Then comes ts, and the upper and lowercase letters are pretty much written the same. And the example word is tsar, which means tsar. How do you pronounce it in English? Tsar? 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 Tsar. I think TS, right? Tsar. That's pretty much how you pronounce t. Kind of a combination of t and s. Then we have ch, And the example word is čaša, which means a glass of water, for example. Then comes dž. It looks very similar to ts, like tar, but it is a different sound. It is a dž, and the example word would be džep, which is a pocket. And the last letter is sh. It also probably reminds you of the letter psi in the Greek alphabet, but it's not exactly the same. And the example word is sherpa, which means pot, like pot for cooking. And if you know in English when you say, tell me something from A to Z or A to Z, we say from A to sh or from A to sh. And that means od A do sh, which basically means tell me everything. And that's how we know that sh is the last letter. That is it. Now the only thing you have to do is to practice, practice, practice. This is literally what we've done when we were little. Every day we would just write the lines and repeat the letters until we became a bit more comfortable writing them. And that's how you learn how to write. There's nothing more to it. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for your attention. Hvala na pažnji. And a big hello from my side. Veliki pozdrav. See you in the next video. Bye bye.